Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. Today we're talking about the fact that there's some new information that Jason has just released about Zombie Rush. So Zombie Rush was first talked about in the global reveal for Black Ops 4. And he mentioned it by name. He said there's a new mode called Zombie Rush, which is a new way to play, but then he basically gave no further information about it. Then, when I interviewed Jason at Comic-Con, I got a really exclusive interview with him, and I asked him about Zombie Rush, but I never made a video on his answer because it just wasn't enough of an answer. He basically just said, it's fun, and it's exciting, and it's a mode where you can play, and it's competitive. But, I mean, beyond that, I had no idea what it was, okay? Now, we have slightly more of an idea, and it turns out that it sounds like Zombie Rush was actually birthed from grief. So, all of you will remember, well, actually, not all of you at all, some of you will remember in Black Ops 2, there was a competitive mode where you and your team would go against another team, so that's up to 8 people in the same lobby, and you would be fighting to try and troll the other team to grief them in order to get them killed first and for you to win. And it was popular, but in a niche way. There were some people that got really, really into grief because they thought, I love zombies, and this is now a competitive mode embedded in zombies. I love it. Hell yeah, I'm going to invest all my time into it. But then there were other people that went, well, this is just a shell of a mode. It's really shallow. Not really interested, to be honest. And so, grief never really went anywhere and never appeared ever again. Now, I have asked Jason many times, and so have other people, about when we're going to see grief return, or if we'll ever see grief return. And his answer has always been that he will introduce other modes like grief when he thinks the time is right, and when he thinks that the mode itself is appropriate, when it's good enough to meet the community's expectations. Because let's face it, if they released grief into the game now in its old form, it would do terribly. It just would not succeed, okay? So that's always been his answer, and he's actually referenced that in his answer to this question about Zombie Rush now. The question is just, can you tell us about Zombie Rush? And he said, okay, one of the modes we did during Black Ops 2 was grief. I've said ever since then that it would only come back when it was appropriate, and that thought still stands. So he's clearly saying that grief is not returning. Grief is not the same as Zombie Rush. However, Rush mode allows people to compete with each other in a more arcadey fashion. All the weapons are free, and the doors unlock as you go along, so you don't have to worry about the complexities of the mode. And as you collect points in the mode as well, there'll be points that you can run over and grab, you're going to see your name going up an in-game leaderboard, and obviously if your friend then overtakes you and gets more points, their name will go above you and you're kind of battling for first place in that way. It's friendly competition. Grief was very hardcore, and this is competitive in a casual way. So, to me, this sounds like basically just a specific type of custom mutation that makes all the weapons free. It means that points don't go into your points bank, or whatever you want to call it, your pocket, your wallet, in the same way they'd normally do. Instead, they're going to actually drop. You're going to be able to run over and grab them before your teammate, or run over and grab a dropped gun before your teammate, and so you're going to try and compete for points that way. Now, when I first heard that Zombie Rush was going to be somewhat competitive, I was really excited, because I have wanted zombies to become at least some kind of an esport, or there to be a little bit more of a competitive focus at least, for years. I just really want that to happen. I think it would be so damn awesome if we did actually have a really thriving, vibrant competitive scene, and that's why I was so excited about ZWC this year. However, to be honest, from Jason's answer, I'm kind of left a little bit worried, because he's very clear in the way that he responds that this is not hardcore like grief. This is not for those players who want like a hardcore competition. It's just for casual play. And I think it's cool that it's there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not annoyed that it's in the game or something silly like that. I'm glad that they're putting it in. It's just that I wish that there was more of a focus on the kind of hardcore stuff in this game. Like, throughout the rest of the interview, throughout other interviews that Jason has done, throughout the world reveal, whatever it is, okay, there's a real running theme this year, which seems to be that they are catering to casuals. They are not catering to the hardcore community in the same way that they might have done previously. And that comes off to me really weirdly. I mean, the hardcore community is the community that's been with zombies since the very beginning. Like, we are the hardcore of the hardcore, right? And Jason, for example, at the COD XP panel that he did, that behind closed doors, extra super duper hardcore only session, in there, he said, yeah, I'm never going to make a tutorial mode. I will never do it. And he actually was explicit in his saying of that, I'm pretty sure at least. He basically said, frick no, that's never happening. I pride myself on our game being tough because it's a barrier to entry, and if you're not good enough, you get left by the wayside. And the people that are good enough, they reap the rewards of the game. He was kind of making it a bit of an elite club, I suppose, if you were really good at zombies. And at the time, that was applauded. People loved that because there was a tutorial mode being put into Infinite Warfare. People were seeing that and going, this is a joke? Like, what? This is just not zombies. This just does not line up with the zombies' DNA. And now 2 years later, Jason is fully going back on his word. There is a tutorial mode. You can make the game easy. There is literally an easy setting. He says it in the interview. And a lot of what they're doing is catering. For example, 9, the map 9, he says, is a casual experience. Like, that is catering to the casual players who might not have been getting into Black Ops 3 because it was a bit too complex. Now, this is a nuanced kind of difficulty to try to navigate because I, of course, want everybody to play zombies. I'm not trying to gatekeep by any means. I'm not trying to be like, oh, well, it has to be hard or it's not good. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that if they make it easy at the expense of the stuff that they'd be doing that would make it hard as well, if they make the easy things at the expense of the hard quests and the hard map designs and all those sorts of things, then it is a problem. Because instead of catering to a broader spectrum of people, they're just catering to a different spectrum of people, to the hardcore ones that actually care about the game, in hopes of onboarding them and crossing their fingers that the hardcore are going to be obsessed enough, just by sort of their natural liking of the zombies mode, that they'll tag along, it might not match their interests, but they'll come along anyway, we can rely on that. Like, it's difficult, it's a tough one, and it's something that I am a little bit concerned about right now, but seeing as the Blackout beta has just been so good, I suppose I should probably have faith that this is going to be fantastic, because Blackout, in my opinion, has been really good. I just wanted to vocalize the fact that Zombie Rush being a casual competitive mode, I think is really unfortunate. I would have really liked if it was a hardcore thing like Grief, except fleshed out and built out in proper game design terms into a full-on game mode, but I guess you can't have them all, right? And it's still going to be fun to play, no doubt. I'm sure that it will be enjoyable to play. It's just that sort of that kind of arcadey style of zombies sounds like the sort of thing that I might not play very often at all. So let me know your thoughts on this, guys. I've seen a couple of comments in the last few videos that I've posted saying that I've been overly negative recently about Black Ops 4 Zombies. And I just want to touch on this real quick as well, right? The problem for me is that I am being honest about my opinion. That's the running thread through all of these videos that I'm making, is that I'm being honest about what I think. And the problem is that if I'm honest and I'm positive, if I'm shouting to the rooftops that I love Treyarch and this is awesome, then I get comments from people saying, you're lying, you're getting paid by Activision, this is all crap, you're a sellout to Activision's wallet, all these sorts of things, and they essentially just undermine my excitement for the game. They undermine all the positive things that I'm saying. And then on the flip side, if I'm being honest again, but I'm being negative, like for example, I don't like the collector's editions of Black Ops 4 this year, I think they are weak sauce, and if I say that in a video, people then respond and say, I don't like this negative tone that you've been adopting recently, Milo. It's awful. Like, why are you so negative about this game these days? It's just a toxic attitude that you just need to get rid of. Why can't you be a bit more positive? And so for me, I am in a complete impossible situation where All I want to do is give you my genuine opinion as someone that's been playing zombies since the very beginning, who's been covering zombies since the very beginning, who was integrally involved, I would say, in the story of Black Ops 3, alongside all of you that were part of that community movement through that story in that game, and then through into Chronicles. I'm just giving you my genuine opinion about things, and it's really unfortunate because every time I say something is negative, people are like, well, you're just being toxic. And when I'm being positive, they're like, well, you're just sucking up to Jason. It's just like, oh my god, give me a break, please. So, I think, personally, that this doesn't sound so great. I think that this could have sounded a lot better if Zombie Rush was a bit more hardcore. But you're still allowed to like it. Let me stress, me thinking this sounds a little bit weak does not mean that you aren't allowed to be super excited about all of this. You could think that every single thing in Black Ops 4 is the best thing in the world or the worst thing in the world. And that's totally fine. That's completely fine, okay? We can agree to disagree. I would say that we're all adults here, but we're not. I recognize the fact that we've got a community that's built up of people from all ages, and as such, I've got a little bit more patience with people who kind of get angry when other people aren't liking the things that they like, and they're a little bit more kind of hyperbolic about things. That's fine. All I'm saying here is that it's okay to disagree. Let's just try and be respectful to each other when we do so, okay? So, on that note, what do you think of this Zombie Rush announcement? Do you think that it sounds really amazing? Are you very happy that there's a casual mode, something catering to the casual fan base? Or are you on my side, and do you think that it would be a bit more fun if the hardcore guys had a bit more to run with? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to probably stress one last point here, and that's that the zombies community has always been competitive since the very beginning of it. There's always been competition about getting to a high round, getting a high number of points even, all sorts of things have been competed for, getting a fast time on Easter eggs, all sorts over the years. And the one thing that just straight away feels a bit weird to me about this is that they're saying, we're catering to the competitive community with a casual mode. Surely you should cater to the competitive community and give competition to that community with a competitive hardcore mode. That seems like a better fit to me. But anyway, I've been MrRoflWaffles. If you haven't subscribed already, then please subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't already also, and I'll see you guys next time for more zombies videos. I've got probably another one coming tonight. There's a lot of news to cover, and I'm sure I'll be posting zombies tomorrow, so check out my channel in the evening for that as well. Okay, cheers guys, bye-bye.